Hey folks, I'm going to show you how to embed a code snippet in a WordPress post, or really any website, but in this example I'm going to be using WordPress. This is what it looks like right here. I'm going to show you two ways to do it, one using GitHub and one using CodePen. So let's start with GitHub. You have to have an account for either of these. So to create the GitHub snippet, you need a GitHub account. And GitHub has this feature called Gist, and the URL for this is gist.github.com. And if you go to that URL and log into GitHub, then you'll see something like this, and you can just enter code directly in here. Just to have some code to work with, I'm going to use the good old clear fix hack. So I'll just copy this here from CSS Tricks. Paste it in there. So there's my CSS. I'll get a file name. This doesn't really matter, but it's just kind of a pretend file name. And I'll just give a comment here to give credit for where I just copied that code from, which is always an important thing to do. Okay, and for the description, I'll just say clear fix hack. Okay, and then you could create a secret gist, but in this case we want to create a public gist. And so there's our code snippet, and now we can click embed here and embed this. You can see here there's different options, but we want to embed this gist in your website, so make sure you have that checked, and then copy this code right here as the script tag. So just copy. Alright, and then over in WordPress, you're gonna just create a new post, or if you're already editing a post, just go to whatever post you want to work with here, and alright, here's where we're going to paste our code that we just copied. So the key here is to make sure that you're in the text tab, because if I paste that code into the visual tab, it's not going to do anything. But if we go over to the text, then we can actually paste HTML into our WordPress post, and that's what we need to do here. So let me just paste that, and then click preview. And there's our code right there embedded into the page. It's really nice because it gives the syntax highlighting, and people can copy this and click here to go to the original gist. And it's just a really nice feature rather than just typing your code directly into the GitHub, or into the WordPress post rather. Now, when you go back over to your visual tab, it will look like nothing. It just has a little weird symbol there. So that's just kind of representing, I guess, what it's kind of like a placeholder, because it's not going to show you the actual embedded code in here. You actually have to click preview to see it there. Okay. So that's GitHub. Let's look at how to do the same thing with CodePen. So again, you need a CodePen account here. Once you're logged in, it's codepen.io is the URL. Just click over here on create, and we're going to create a pen. And CodePen is really nice. Has a little more features than the gist, than the GitHub gist, because you can do both HTML and CSS and JavaScript all in one pen, and it does give you a little preview of what that looks like as well. So I'm going to come back to our code here, and I'll copy the let me just close these GitHub tabs. Alright, I'll paste the HTML in the HTML area, and I will paste the CSS here. And once again, I'm going to make sure that I give credit to where I'm copying this from with a CSS comment and an HTML comment. Okay. And it would show, there's no actual content here, otherwise we would show the preview. So let me just show you. Hey, it's content. Okay, so if you had something in your HTML that actually would display in a viewport, then it would actually show it down here in the preview. In this case, we're not really doing that. It's just to show the clear fix hack. So I'll just delete that. And once you're done with your code, then you're going to come over here and click Save. Okay, and then, oops, I probably need to move my camera. Okay. So down here in the bottom right now, there's an embed button, so let's click that. And once again, you can really do some customization here, so you can even choose your theme, light or dark. You can choose which tabs show by default. So since I don't have anything to display over here, I'm just going to unclick the result tab so it doesn't show that. And since we're focusing on the CSS in this case, I'm going to click the CSS tab. So by default, this is the tab that will be shown first. And then, well, I'll show you once we have it embedded. Now, down here in your tabs, here there is something called WordPress shortcode. And that only works if you have a certain WordPress plugin installed. I'm not going to show you how to do that. We're just going to use the good old HTML recommended version here. So just copy and paste all of that. And we're going to do the same thing we did for the GitHub gist. We're just going to go over to the text tab and paste that code in there and click preview. And there's our code pen. And so you can see this is really nice because people can actually click back and forth to see the HTML and the CSS and JavaScript. If you have JavaScript, they can see the result of the page and they can actually rerun the code. So CodePen is very nice. So yeah, that's how you do it. If you are interested in doing the WordPress shortcode here, the advantage to this, I guess, is that it allows you to paste directly into the visual part of the WordPress editor rather than having to go to the text, the text tab. So I guess that's good because it actually kind of shows up here as something rather than just being like a weird little symbol. But again, you have to have a plugin installed in order for that to actually work. So just delete that. And that's all I have to tell you. So I hope that helps, and let me know in the comments if you have any questions. All right, bye.